July of 1985. Back to the Future is the #1 movie in America. The Nintendo just hit shelves. Half the planet is watching Live Aid. And gas is $1.20 a gallon. The median home that year cost $82,000. A stamp was 22 cents. And a family could be doing just fine on one income. Now, I'm not going to stand here and tell you to go buy a flip phone and churn your own butter. But I spent a week actually running the numbers on the way we lived back then versus the way we live now. And what I found genuinely changed how I think about money at 50. Because it turns out the 1985 version of your life wasn't just simpler. It was lighter. And lighter, it turns out, is the thing that actually saves you money. Let me show you. Close your eyes for a second. Actually, don't. You're driving or doing the dishes. I know how you watch these things. Picture 1985. One television in the house, and you got up to change the channel. One phone attached to the wall with a cord you could stretch into the next room if you needed privacy. If you wanted a movie, you drove to the video store and you prayed that one copy of the new release was still on the shelf. And here's the thing I want you to notice. It didn't feel like deprivation. It felt normal. It felt, honestly, kind of good. You weren't getting a notification every 90 seconds. You weren't paying 9 different companies a monthly fee to exist. The footprint of a normal life was just smaller. And that smaller footprint is hiding a number I think is going to surprise you. Let's start with the honest part, because this isn't a things were perfect back then video. Things genuinely got harder, and the numbers are brutal. In 1985, the median home sold for about $83,000. Today, it's about $470,000. That's a 5x. Now you might say, well, of course, everybody made less back then. True, median household income in 1985 was about $23,000. Today, it's about $84,000. So income went up about 3.5 times, but the house went up 5 times. That gap, income tripling while house quintupled, that gap is the whole reason this generation feels like it's running up a down escalator. It's not in your head, it's in the spread. And to set the baseline for everything else, $1 in 1985 is worth about $3 today. So whenever I throw out an old price, just roughly triple it in your head and you'll see whether it actually got more expensive or whether we just got used to paying more. A stamp went from 22 cents to 78. Triple 22 and you get 66. So a stamp got a little more expensive, but basically tracked inflation. Minimum wage, on the other hand, went from $3.35 to $7.25. Triple $3.35 and you should be at $10. We're at $7.25. So the floor actually dropped. These are things nobody lays out for you in a straight line. So yes, housing and wages genuinely got harder. I'm not going to pretend a budget trick fixes a 5x housing market, but here's where it gets interesting, because that's only half the story. The other half is the part we did to ourselves, and that part we can actually undo. A normal life quietly got a little more expensive, and most of it wasn't the house. It was everything we bolted on. Let me walk you through the stack, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Start with the house itself, not the price, not the size. In 1985, the typical home was about 1,600 square feet. Today, it's about 2,200. We added 600 square feet, and then we heat it, cool it, furnish it, insure it, and fill it with stuff. A bigger box costs more money every single month just to keep the lights on, whether you use those rooms or not. Then the driveway. In 1985, the average household had about 1.5 cars, and a lot of families made 1 car work. Today, we're pushing 2. The average new car payment just hit about $748 a month. A month! That's a number that would have made your 1985 self spit out their tab cola.
Give me a tab.
Tab? I can't give you a tab unless you order something.
Now, the stuff that didn't exist in 1985. Streaming. The average household spends about $69 a month across 4 devices, and that's Della Wheat's number. Add the subscriptions you forgot you're paying for. The average person is bleeding around $200 a year on stuff they'll never use. In 1985, your subscription was the newspaper and maybe HBO, and you complained about both. Food. Now, we spend almost $4,000 a year per household eating out and ordering in, And food delivery alone became a $100 billion habit basically overnight. In 1985, takeout was a treat. A pizza on a Friday, not a Tuesday reflex with $3 of fees and a tip for someone to carry it about 40 feet from the car to your door. And here's where it all lands. The average American now carries about $6,700 in credit card debt. And as a country, we're sitting on $18.5 trillion in household debt. We didn't get that from the house. We got it $5, $10, $69 at a time from the stack, the convenience tax. And the good news, the actually hopeful part of this whole video is that the stack is the part you control. Okay, so how do you actually pull money back out of the stack without living like a monk? I call it the 1985 reset. 5 moves, none of them are about suffering. All of them are about taking back the money you're spending on autopilot. Grab a pen or just remember the one that stings the most. Move 1, the subscription purge. Tonight, pull up your bank statement and your App Store subscriptions and read every recurring charge out loud. Because saying, I pay $9 a month for that is what actually makes you cancel it. Most people find $200 or $300 a year they were donating to companies they forgot existed. That's the easiest money you'll make all year. Move 2, the video store rule. In 1985, entertainment had friction. You had to drive, choose, and bring it back. That friction was a budget. So pick a number, say $20 a month for everything you stream and rotate. Keep 1 or 2 services, cancel the rest, and resubscribe to the others only when there's actually a season you want. They'll take you back. They always take you back. Move 3, the 1-car experiment. I'm not saying sell a car tomorrow. I'm saying run the experiment for 1 month. Can you make 1 car work for 2 days a week? Because if the answer is even sometimes, you're looking at the single biggest line item in this list. That $700 payment plus insurance, plus gas, plus maintenance. Downsizing from 2 cars to 1 is a lot for a lot of households. A $5,000 to $10,000 a year decision hiding in plain sight. Move 4, cook 3 nights, not 7. I'm not your grandmother. Move 3 dinners a week back into the kitchen, the 1985 default, and you'll claw back well over $1,000 a year and probably eat better doing it. Put on Tears for Fears while you cook. That part's free. Move 5, right size the box. This is big, slow one, and it's not for everyone. But if you're an empty nester rattling around in 2,200 square feet you stopped using when the kids left, the most powerful money move available to Gen X isn't a stock pick. It's recognizing that the house got big for a season of life that's over. A smaller footprint doesn't downgrade. It's the 1985 move that frees up the most cash and the most time at exactly the age you need. Right size the box. Add those up and a normal household can pull back somewhere between $3,000 and $10,000 a year. Not by earning a dime more, not by suffering, just by living a little more like it's 1985. And every one of those dollars is a dollar that buys you what you actually want, which we'll get to right now. What 1985 actually bought you, because this was never really about the money. The money's just the proof. What the 1985 life actually gave you was the thing we're all quietly starving for now. Room, white space, a Saturday with nothing scheduled and no little red notification badges telling you you're behind. We were bored sometimes, and boredom, it turns out, is where you actually hear yourself think. We had 1 screen, so we were in the same room. We made mixtapes, which took an hour and meant something, instead of a playlist an algorithm built for us in a second, and we forgot by lunch. Less wasn't worse. In a lot of ways, less was the whole point. And here's why this matters for where a lot of you are right now, in transition. Rethinking the back half, wondering what's next. A lighter life isn't just cheaper, it's more flexible. The person carrying 2 car payments, a giant mortgage, and $69 a month of streaming can't take the risk, can't take the pay cut to do the thing they actually want, and can't breathe. The person living a little more like it's 1985 can. Every dollar that you pull out of the stack isn't just savings, it's options. And at 50, options are the whole game. So this week, do just 1 move tonight. Read your subscriptions out loud and cancel 2. That's it. That's the on-ramp. All 5 moves with the dollar amounts to fill in. It's the free workbook. First link in the description. If you want to work through the bigger moves with me, like right sizing or a one income transition, the coaching link is right underneath it. And the usual. I'm not a financial advisor. This is research and lived experience, not advice for your specific situation. You know the drill. Last thing, and I genuinely want to know, drop it in the comments. What's the one thing from 1985 you'd like to bring back? And I don't just mean the music. I read every one of these. I'll be down there. See you in the next one.